Hey everyone, this is Pilot22 and welcome back to another episode of my game collection. Last episode I started showing off my PS3 collection, and this episode we're going to continue with that. So without further ado, let's continue first. And the first one I'm going to show is probably a collection of stuff. Well, it is a collection of stuff. I'm just going to come show them in the pile here. Let's see. Guitar Hero 5, Guitar Hero Smash Hits, Beatles Rock Band. See where this is going, viewers? Lego Rock Band, Green Day Rock Band, Rock Band 3, Rock Band 2. Yeah, what can I say? Music games, a little bit of a collection here. Yeah, they're all good. My preference is, to be perfectly honest, is the Rock Bands over the Guitar Heroes. I just prefer their style of playing. I just like that particular option. Obviously, Rock Band kind of went nuts with their extras, like Green Day. I'm a big fan of Green Day. It's one of my favorite bands of all time. Lego Rock Band, more of a kiddie, but I was able to import the songs. A little funny story with that is when I got my new PS3, I had trouble actually importing my licenses, so I couldn't get the songs back. Well, I mean, you can't import them in the Rock Band 3, that is. I can play them on the disc, but you can't import them only a second time, which is bull, but meh. If anyone knows how to work around that, I appreciate that very much, because it helps put them all in one spot rather than swapping discs all the time. Next one I have is another set of 3 games here. The Final Fantasy series. Final Fantasy 13, right here. Final Fantasy 13-2, and Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns. Yeah, what can I say? I think I showed Final Fantasy 13 on my Xbox in the first video there earlier. But yeah, my preferred version is definitely the PS3. Graphically, I do think it gives definitely the edge on the PS3. Obviously, it's 1 disc instead of 3, which is very useful. Final Fantasy 13-2. A lot of people are definitely on the fence about this game. I'm on the side of I like it at this point, although I can definitely see how people don't really like it too much. Definitely, it's back and forth all over the timeline. That's what the game is. I did beat the game. I was able to get some of the DLC beaten. The special characters, Lightning got, and Saz as well. But I can't beat the bosses to get Snow unlocked, so that was a bit annoying. Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13. Honestly, I haven't beat the game. That's why I was looking forward to it. I can't get past the concept of time. It's the same thing for me and Majora's Mask for the Legend of Zelda for the 64. I absolutely hate having a time limit on anything I do. Like, I know there's ways to stop time, I know there's ways to manage it and all that. I just don't want to have to deal with that. Because I just want to actually have a fun time, go at my own pace. I can leave the game running for hours and come back and have no negative effect on my game. So that's the gripe I have about that. Graphically, it's an awesome game. Let's see, this next set here is kind of obvious. The Uncharted set. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 for the PS3. Obviously, with Uncharted 2 being, well, several ones, mine included, one of my favorite games on the entire freaking system. I think only recently unseated by Last of Us. Also made by Naughty Dog as well, so they got a pretty good track record. So, no order of the games: Last of Us, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, and the first Uncharted. Although that isn't, so the first Uncharted isn't bad, it's a good game, but definitely being the first version of the first game of this series had a lot of quirks. At this point, it was a bit disjointed, and yeah. But aside from that, they're all good games. I definitely recommend, if you haven't tried these games, pick up all 3. They're pretty cheap now. The bargain bins or any kind of retail stores or used game stores, I have them pretty cheap. These ones here are Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age Awakening. Yeah, it's definitely one of those open world things. You can basically create a character, male, female, different races, different talents, maids, sorcerers, warriors, dwarves, all these different characters. You can have relationships with each other, a whole bunch of quests. It's pretty cool. I don't remember the details of them, to be perfectly honest. It's been so long since I played them. But they're good games. Definitely prefer Origins over Awakening because Awakening is a sequel, and I don't think it actually was as good as the original game, honestly. Next is kind of an oddball here, because just the way they packaged it. Skyrim. It's definitely takes Dragon Age ideas, but obviously expands on them extensively. It's one huge game. It's way beyond my league at this point. I put several hours into it, like probably 60 hours or so. Done a lot of the side quests. Well, 3/4 of the game is all side quests. So, oh man, there's a lot of exploration, total customization of character. It's pretty cool. It just, well, the one thing that gets me is item crafting, because I'm no good at that stuff. I try my best, but can never get the hang of it. Next game here we got is Mirror's Edge. This one here I think is a good game. I don't think it gets enough credit. I thought they were making the sequel, but it's in some kind of limbo or canceled, not canceled, or whatever it is. I hope they actually come out with a sequel, because I just like the gameplay of stealth over attacking. You can still shoot things and get by the game, but it is possible, and I have not done this myself, to get by the entire game. I think there's actually a trophy for it too, to beat the game and not fire a single shot. Like, all stealth, like avoid the enemies, like take them down, like basically choking him out or just running and hiding different things. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Obviously now, being a couple years older, kind of showing its age for in terms of graphical capability as an earlier PS3 game, but still it's a good game. Ah yes, Portal 2. This game brought me some good times. Actually, it was one of my first experiences playing online, because I was really reluctant to play online for mostly any game for a long time. They're just not the way I play. But with the way the PS3 works and the way Steam works, it doesn't work for the Xbox version, but you can actually link your PS3 and the Steam account. And I have a friend who actually plays the computer version, or plays, it's been a long time since we did it, but I actually had the computer version on Steam, and I was playing on my PS3. I have a webcam which I plugged into my PS3 at the time. Well, I think it was a PlayStation 9 as well. And we can actually voice chat while we play the game. I'm on my PS3, he's on the computer. So yeah, that actually worked out pretty good, because my computer at the time, still it's the same computer, is not that graphically powerful. And, well, it might be better now because I have a faster internet connection than I did years ago. But it's a good game. Definitely, it's a puzzle. It's very innovative. It's very cool. I highly recommend picking it up. Next one here, Soul Calibur 5. This one is, I think it's good, but I don't think it's as good as Soul Calibur 4. In my opinion, the Soul Calibur 4 I think was a better version at this point. I'm just playing as the actual main characters. They should have included them, like Sophia, Cassandra, all those ones. Basically, it's a new generation of characters in this one. They're kids, stuff. The gameplay is still technically sound. I like the character customization in this game, but I don't know. I just can't get into it as much as I did the Soul Calibur before. I missed this one from before. WWE All Stars. Yeah, same kind of idea as a Legend of WrestleMania game. It's still kind of control scheme at this point. It's just like the next evolution of that, because it's the newer THQ symbol you see in the corner. But I say new with quotes because THQ is kind of they've gone under at this point. It's a good game. It's a wrestling game. Not much I can say about that, really. Another NHL game. NHL 12. Same as before, just another hockey game. Roster update, graphically impressive. Here's an oddball, Catherine. Yeah, it's one of those, it's almost like a Japanese dating sim combined with a puzzle game. Because while you're awake, you got two girlfriends, and both of them happen to name Catherine, one with the C, one with the K. And you're trying to juggle them, and apparently, while you're sleeping, you're kind of in the pajamas or shorts with goat ears or whatever it is, and someone's trying to kill you, you're playing Cubert basically, jumping up the levels, trying to climb towers before the pitchfork gets you or whatever it is. So it's one weird ass game, Pretty fun, though. Here's another one here, Wet. This is one of my earlier pickups from the PS3. It was definitely pretty cool. It's like a shooter game. I forget the details. It's been a long time since I played it now. Mainly, one of the reasons why I got it was just for the main character herself. Voiced by the Elisha Dushku from Faith on Buffy, Dollhouse, and a couple other shows as well. She did True Calling, I think, as well. And yeah, she's pretty versatile, and probably I remember her from True Lies as well. For the with Arnold Schwarzenegger, she played the daughter on that one too. So, long story short, it's a good game. So yeah, on to the next. Here we go. 3D dot game heroes. Basically, Sony's answer to Legend of Zelda. Or made by Atlas, the same company as Catherine there showed a moment ago. Yeah, it's basically a game, as you can see here, all the characters are almost like Lego blocks, so to speak. Well, not quite Legos, but you know what I mean. And yeah, I got different dungeons, got heart pieces and different things. I got to find the treasure and rescue things, and it's actually a pretty cool game. I give it a lot of credit. I gotta get back to that one day and beat it. Here we go. The Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. As kind of implied here, it's basically a whole bunch of Sega games on the PS3 disc. There's like 25 games. Let me see what's on here. There doesn't even say on the box. So HD graphics. So it's got like what was it? Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Altered Beast, Sonic Hedgehog 2, Echo the Dolphin, I think, is on here too. Whole bunch of games. It's really, really impressive. It's on pretty much all platforms at this point. PS3, 360. I don't think they made a Wii version, but the main two platforms anyway. Injustice. I got this for my birthday last year. Yeah, it's really cool. Made by the same guys that made Mortal Kombat, and although it has all the DC comic book heroes in there. Basically, good versus evil. And I like it a lot. I put a lot of hours into the game and beat the story mode on the double difficulties. Beat a lot of the challenge modes and all that. So yeah, it went pretty good. So if you can find it, pick it up. I think it's re-released on the Vita. And I think they got some Ultimate Editions out now too. So I think the Ultimate Edition was even... Yeah, I got the Ultimate Edition on my PS4, I think, too, because it was free. So yay, PlayStation Plus. Oh yeah, another Guitar Hero game. I didn't include that in that one earlier. Not much to say about that. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It's a good game, but meshes the two franchises, I think, pretty well. It's obviously got the main characters from most series, although not everyone from all series. It's got Ryu and Ken, so I'm happy about that. I personally like Cammy and Chun-Li, my favorite two characters on the Street Fighter side. Can't really say too much about the Tekken side because didn't really grow up with that franchise. Good game graphically. It's the same kind of art style as Street Fighter because that's the main first one. There's supposed to be a Tekken Cross Street Fighter in the Tekken world, but I haven't heard too much about it lately. I heard that it wasn't stopped, so to speak. That's kind of on hold, but I haven't heard much about it, so hopefully it comes out. Mass Effect 3. Let me see if I can find it, because I got number 2 in here as well somewhere. Yes, here it is. Mass Effect 2 and 3. Basically like an RPG shooter game. Like basically both critically acclaimed games. A lot of controversy, of course, over the Mass Effect 3 ending originally. They released a patch or something that corrects it or changes the ending. I personally, even though they're great games, I didn't actually beat these games because shooters, while they're good, they're not really my expertise in terms of games. I like the old school traditional RPGs. Good game graphically. Obviously, you can choose the Commander Shepard, your own abilities and all that stuff. Oh yeah, more wrestling. WWE 13. Obviously, you've seen Punk on the cover. One of the better games I think they made. Probably 2K13 and 14 are the favorites of the more recent generation. UFC 3. I don't think I played this much, maybe once, because it was part of the fire sale I told you about in the last episode. So, yeah, I got for like $2-3, something like that, something pretty cheap. Lollipop Chainsaw. Now, this is a bit of an odd one. I like the game. I was stupid to buy it full price at like 60 bucks at the time, because now it's pretty cheap and it's pretty fun. It's pretty much like a chainsaw, obviously, by the girl. High school girl, everyone's like zombies and things. You gotta turn them up with a chainsaw, and he's like her boyfriend's like stuck on her, like it's a boyfriend at the corner there, right there. So he's always with her all the time, just talking. Really weird. See if I can get these last couple of games from my memory ones out here. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, basically same kind of thing as a Mario Kart clone. This with Sonic characters, it's good. I heard the other one, the Sonic Racing Transform, like the sequel, apparently is even better. GoldenEye Reloaded 007. They made a Wii version of that, which is the original. I've since sold it, which I kind of regret. But anyway, the PS3 version, it works. It works okay. It works with Move, but I prefer the regular controls. They tried to recreate the 64 version with the new characters, Daniel Craig as Bond and all that. It works to an extent. Multiplayer is kind of lackluster, though. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Again, I'm not into shooters too much, so I can't say too much about that. I haven't only played it like 3 or 4 years, so... Soul Calibur 4, probably my favorite Soul Calibur of the franchise. It blended the characters well. Got the Darth Vader and Yoda and Star Wars crossover in here. Excellent customization characters. There is like the different story tower modes. I mean, we found out a lot of time playing through it. Really fun game. If I can find it, I'd recommend picking it up. Little Big Planet, obviously level creation, customization, the #1 front and center. I made a couple levels. They're pretty horrendous, honestly speaking. So, yeah, I'm not that really creative. Heavenly Sword, I picked that up at launch, sold it, and got it back for cheap. One of the launch titles, I think, for the PS3, so it definitely doesn't really hold up too well compared to more recent games. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, basically their version to Super Smash Bros. It's basically a bargain bin now, but if you can find it for cheap, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's got like Nathan Drake, Kratos, Little Big Planet, Fat Princess, a whole bunch of characters. So it works, it's okay. Let's see, WWE 2K14. Yeah, what I can say, it's another wrestling game, pretty fun. I think probably the best one on the franchise on the PS3. Almost done here, Angry Birds Trilogy. Awesome game. Just trying to find it for cheap because it's not worth paying a retail like 40 bucks or something. I found it for $12.50 because of my discount card before they went out of business. So that's a pretty decent price, all things considered. But the game's $2 on an iPhone, so I'm not going to pay 40 for the retail. Diablo 3. Now this is a bit of a point of contention. I have the computer version and the PS3 version. PS3 version I think is a lot better than the computer version, but my brother, all he has is the computer version only, and they're not cross compatible, which royally sucks. So like this version, he plays the computer. Yeah, that's always been a point of contention. Graphically, it's awesome. I like all the quests and all that. It's pretty cool. Definitely recommend picking it up. Last but not least, Deadpool. I haven't played this game too much. The voice actor is the same guy that does Nathan Drake. At this point, Nolan North for Deadpool is pretty comically inclined. It's a good game. They often break the fourth wall, like they talk to you and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a good game. I haven't beaten it though. So yeah, with that, that's my PS3 physical hard copy collection. The next episode what I'll probably do is I'll show off probably a mix of a whole bunch of stuff. I'll probably boot up my actual systems and show them on screen. My PS3 show you my digital stuff, and same thing for my PS4. And maybe show you my other systems like the Super Nintendo, 64, NES, all other kind of random stuff. So with that, this is Probably 22 saying thanks for watching. You guys have a good night. Right, bye.